Lads and ladies, welcome to a new video. And today I'm here in sunny Mallorca, and today we're going to start doing League 1 and League 2 predictions. Now, the reason I'm doing League 1 and 2 predictions, it just makes my life much easier. Just saves me doing 2 videos and just merging it into 1 video, and it makes it much easier for me. So, hence why I'm going to do League 1 and 2, and we'll see how this plans out. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the new EFL season. I'll be watching a lot more games, so hopefully I can watch Friday night game and a few Saturday games, and then obviously the Sunday game as well. So yeah, we'll see how this goes, and let's get on with the predictions. So to kick off Friday night, we have Luton against AFC Wimbledon. Now Luton have been relegated last season. I still don't know how. And Wimbledon got promoted via the playoffs. So it'll be an interesting game, to be fair. I mean, both teams will be obviously not playing in this league. Didn't play in this league last season. Both of them have been in this league before. But Luton, look, they've got the much better squad. They've managed to keep the core of their squad, which is why I think they're going to absolutely just tear apart this league. They really will. On the other hand, with AFC Wimbledon, they've done well to get promoted back to League One. So fair play to them. Because both of these teams have not been in this league before. Considering Luton have got a way better squad, I don't think Luton are going to batter them. And for me, I don't actually think Luton are going to beat them. I can see this being a draw. So for me, I'm going to go for I'll start with a 2-2 draw for me. I can see it being an entertaining game. Both teams being newly relegated and newly promoted. I'm going to start for the banger. It's going to be a 2-2 draw for me. Next game, early kick-off on Saturday. Cardiff against Peterborough. Cardiff were abysmal last season. They would deserve to get relegated. Peterborough also abysmal. They've lost most of their players already, which does not help them at all. In terms of how I think both of these teams will do, obviously I said Cardiff would get playoffs. Peterborough said would get around mid-table. I've seen quite a few people saying that they're going to get relegated, which that's where I originally put Peterborough. But then I thought, no, I'm not going to put them. I'm not going to put them there. I'm going to put them around the mid-table stretch, but close to relegation. But for me, I just don't know. I could see this being quite a boring game, in my opinion. Well, I don't know. I'm going to predict another draw. So I'm going to see it being a 1-1 for me. I'll go for 1-1. Next game, Blackpool against Stevenage. Blackpool did really well last season, and for me this season they can definitely go for it. They're definitely a playoff side. Steve Bruce is a top quality manager, and he can certainly get them playoffs or even top 2. In terms of Stevenage, they've been okay. They've not been too bad. I definitely don't think they're going to get relegated this season. But you know, I hope both of these teams do well. But in terms of my prediction for this game, I can see Blackpool winning it. For me, I don't think Stevenage will do it. I can see Blackpool beating them. For me, I'm going to go 2-1 to Blackpool for me. Bradford against Wycombe. Bradford got newly promoted, absolutely fantastic last season. They've got some great fans, great stadium. Wycombe were really unlucky last season. Obviously, they were sniffing towards the top 2 with Wrexham, which is too good for them. They were just too good, Wrexham, and they couldn't get anywhere past Birmingham or Wrexham, and that's how they ended up getting in the playoffs and losing to Charlton, which were unlucky for them. In terms of how I think this game will go, I think Wycombe might have a bit of a slow start to this season, and then eventually they may sniff towards the playoffs, despite I think I put them 11th, if I'm not mistaken. But Bradford, I think they'll have a good start to this season, and I think they're going to beat Wycombe. Yes, I think Bradford will win their first game of the season because they're at home, because they've got great fans. So I'm going to go for 2-0 Bradford for me. Burton against Mansfield. Now, Burton obviously were really close to being relegated. They've been close to relegation for the last 2 seasons, but Burton just keep doing it. They just keep finding ways to stay up, and fair play to them. They've done absolutely fantastic. With Mansfield, honestly, they genuinely could get relegated this season. I don't think they're good enough for this league. But if they do well, then fair play to Mansfield. Fair play. You did well to stay up last season, but oh gosh, your football was awful last season. But in terms of predictions for this game, I'm going to go for another draw, and I can see it being another 1-1. Next up, we've got Donny against Exeter. Donny were fantastic last season. Fair play. Well deserved to get promoted last season. Exeter, I can see them being a bit of a danger. I think they'll get relegated for me. But Donny, you know what? I think they'll smash Exeter for me. I think they're going to absolutely smash him. My prediction for this game is going to be 3-1 to Doncaster for me. Next up, Huddersfield against Leyton Orient. Now, Leyton Orient, again, were fantastic, managed to get playoffs. They were unlucky, to be fair, in the playoff final. I've said it quite a few times, I would have loved to see these in the Championship. Brisbane Road, only 9,000-10,000 capacity stadium. Oh, that would have been very good to see. Huddersfield were not very good last season, but they've done well in the transfer window, as I explained in my League One predictions. If you've not watched it, go back and watch it. I don't know how this game's going to go. If I were to say, I would honestly consider predicting Leyton Orient to actually go ahead and win this game. They did it last season, and I can seriously see it doing it again. And I think I'm going to go for 1-0 Leyton Orient. It'll be tight, but I'm going to go 1-0 Leyton Orient for me. Lincoln against Reading. Now, let's start off with Reading. They've had their fair share of financial problems, but they managed to get over that. And now they're a stable club. Obviously, going to try and push for top 6, but who knows how they'll do. Lincoln, they're just more of a mid-table side, but sometimes they do push for that playoffs. I mean, sometimes they're all a side where they go on good form and then they just seem to go on bad form. They're just more of a mixed side, really, and that's why they're not going to get playoffs because of that. So, you know what? Lincoln seem to have good starts to seasons usually, and I think they'll keep it up. So I will go for 2-1 Lincoln for me. Plymouth against Barnsley. Now, Plymouth obviously were relegated thanks to Wayne Rooney because of how awful of a manager he really is, and he already screwed them up by Christmas. Murrich was a very good manager, and obviously we know about that historic FA Cup game against Liverpool where he beat them 1-0. So, but they got rid of him, and Tom Cleverley, we'll see how he does at Plymouth. Obviously, Barnsley have done well in this transfer window, especially signing David McGoldrick. He may tear up this league, but who knows. But you know what? We're going to go for Barnsley this time. I think they'll get off to a good start this season. It'll be tight. Plymouth are decent at home, usually. So I'm going to 5-goal thriller, 3-2 to Barnsley for me. Rotherham against Port Vale. Now, we knew how bad Rotherham were last season. Obviously, they've got rid of their manager. They've got a new one, I believe. Port Vale have got Darren Moore, George Byers. They're sorted this season. They're going to do fantastic. Despite all of that, they may have a bit of a slow start to this season, like I said, with a couple more teams. So, because of that, I think Rotherham will win this game, and I'm going to go for... It'll be a low-scoring game. I'm going to go for 1-0 Rotherham. Wigan against Northampton. Wigan, just like with Barnsley and Bolton and them sides like that, they didn't really do much last season. They were dire. So they'd hope that they're going to do well this season, and hopefully Paul Mullin will score some goals for Wigan this season. Northampton, again, were lucky to survive, and I think, that, like I said, they will survive again. But for me, for this game, I think Wigan will have a good start, and I think they will win for 2-1 Wigan. Last up, Stockport against Bolton. Love a good local derby on a Sunday. And I think this will have a fair share of goals in this game. Obviously, Stockport were in the playoffs last season. They were unlucky to lose. And Bolton, I've said it before, they were awful. And I think they'll be awful again. If you've not watched my League One predictions, go watch them back, like I said earlier. But, like I said, I think there will be a lot of goals in this game. And I'm going to go for another 2-2 draw. Accrington against Gillingham to start off with League 2. None of these games are on Sky, but they're all on Sky Sports Plus, but they're all at 3 o'clock in England, 4 o'clock here in Spain. These two sides were both down at the bottom, and like I did say, Accrington, I think they'll get relegated this season. But Gillingham, Again, I think they'll finish near the bottom. They won't get relegated, but they'll finish near the bottom. But I can see Accrington getting smashed here for me. I think they will get smashed. I'm going to go for 3-0 to Gillingham for me. Barnet against Fleetwood. These did really well to win the league, Barnet, and I think they predicted them to finish 16th, I believe. So I hope they do well this season. Fleetwood, they need to sort themselves out. They need to have a better season this season. So I hope Fleetwood do well. But Barnet, I think they'll go off to a good start here. So I'm going to go for 2-0 to Barnet. Bristol Rovers against Harrogate. Bristol Rovers were relegated last season. Harrogate didn't do too bad, but they want a better season this season. But Bristol Rovers were shocking last season, and I can see Harrogate potentially beating them. So I think Bristol Rovers will get off to a bad start. I'll go for 3-1 Harrogate. Next up, Cambridge against Cheltenham. Both of these teams were relegated last season, so they'll hope to have not both of these teams. Sorry, I do apologise. Cambridge were relegated last season. Cheltenham, they were near towards the bottom and didn't do that well. But I think Cambridge might get off to a slow start, you know. I think Cheltenham honestly will beat him. So I'm actually going to go for 2-0 Cheltenham, because I think usually teams that relegated, they do tend to have bad starts. Especially, well, if you're not a team like Luton, but despite I did predict them to be a draw, usually relegated teams do seem to have a poor start, but I don't know how this game will go, but who knows. Chesterfield against Barrow. Obviously, Chesterfield got playoffs last season and they were unlucky against Walsall. Barrow were more of a mid-table side this season. I think they'll be mid-table again, but we'll see how this game goes. Chesterfield are quite good at home, and fair play to them. They did well. Obviously, they got promoted from the National League 2 seasons ago, and they did well in League 2 last season. And obviously managed to get playoffs, and fair play to them. I hope they do well again this season. Obviously, I predicted them to get automatics. Watch my League 2 predictions video if you haven't yet. But again, I don't think they'll beat Barrow. I'm going to go for 2-1 Barrow for me. Colchester against Tranmere. Now, these two sides are okay. Tranmere were a side that finished towards the bottom, and they won't want that sort of season this season. But I think they might get off to a good start here, you know. But like I said, they'll want a good start, both teams. But I think Tranmere will beat Colchester, and for me, I think it will be... it'll be tight. I'm going to go 2-1 Tranmere. Grimsby against Crawley. Now, Grimsby did well last season, managed to finish in the top 12. Crawley obviously got relegated last season. It didn't help them. But they struggled, Crawley. And I don't know how they'll do this season. I think they'll really struggle this season. But I think they'll start well against Grimsby. And I can see them battering him, Crawley. I think they're going to beat Grimsby 3-0. MK Dons against Oldham. Oldham were promoted last season via the playoffs in National League, so fair play to them. MK Dons did not finish well, and they'll want to finish higher instead of where they finished last season. But Oldham, again, like Barnet, I can just see him. I can see him smashing MK Dons. You know what? I'm going to go, we'll go different here. 4-1 to Oldham for me. Newport against Notts County. Notts County are a good team and they should do well this season. Newport will need to be careful because they could be condemned for relegation. I'm just going to wedge Notts County here. And I think it's going to be a low scoring game for me. I think it'll just be a 1-0 win to Notts County for me. Salford against Crewe. Now, I predicted Salford, as you know, to win the league. So I expect them to do well this season. Crewe aren't a bad side. They've not done too bad in pre-season. But for me, for this game, Salford will easily beat Crewe. I'm going to go for 3-1 Salford. Shrewsbury against Bromley. Shrewsbury were relegated last season, so they'll hope to do well this season. Bromley did well to stay up last season. I did say they would finish relegated for this season. But I think they'll get off to a good start, Bromley. And I think they are going to beat Shrewsbury. Go for 2-0 Bromley for me. Walsall against Swindon. Walsall were incredible last season, but last few games they were really unlucky and played poor, and that's how they finished in the playoffs and didn't get promoted in the end. For me, for this game, Swindon aren't a bad side. They can definitely go for top 10 or top 7. But for me, this will be a tight game. I'm going to go for 3-2 to Walsall. That's it, lads and ladies. I hope you enjoyed this video. Obviously, like I said, I weren't going to do this just for League 1 predictions and League 2 predictions because it would have just been too much for me and I probably would have got tired. Because as you can see, I'm trying to enjoy my holiday here. But obviously, I wanted to do videos for you lads and ladies because I just love YouTube that much and I want to impress you lads and ladies watching this video. So, I hope you enjoyed. Make sure you like and subscribe and I will see you in the next one.